Hi guys, and welcome to Jjk Energise Yoga. We are going to begin today's class in a child's pose. So bring the big toes together, knees hip distance apart, come to sit on your heels. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, you're just going to slowly walk your hands down the mat as you draw your forehead onto the mat. Remember, if your forehead doesn't reach the floor, you can place a block or a cushion underneath. Then if you can, slowly start to breathe in and out through your nose. As you inhale, see if you can creep your fingertips a little bit more forward. And as you exhale, sit your hips further back. And on your next inhale, see if you can draw the breath through your shoulder blades. And again, as you exhale, just feel yourself melting and your hips drawing back. On your next inhale, lift your head about an inch off the mat. Now drawing your right hip back, you're going to walk your hands over to the left. And then bring your right palm on top of your left hand. And then just drop your head here. Just feel the extension along the right side. Try to drop the right shoulder here as well. Again, continue to breathe in and out of your nose if you can. Inhaling the breath into the back body. Exhaling, just allowing yourself to fall closer towards the mat. On your next inhale, slowly walk your hands back to centre, and then as you exhale, drawing your left hip back, walk your hands over to the right. This time bringing your left palm on top of your right hand. And again, just placing your forehead onto your brick or your mat, and just feeling that extension along the left side of your torso. Again, try to drop your left shoulder here. And then on your next inhale, walk your hands back to centre. Again, just walk your hands forward as you inhale and draw your hips back as you exhale. Just feeling the extension along your spine. And then slowly start to make your way into a tabletop position. Creep your hands a couple of inches forward. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Your hands are about shoulder width or wider. Tuck your toes, and as you inhale, lift your knees off the mat and come into your first downward dog. You can just pedal out your feet here. Just warming up the back of the hamstrings, stretching the feet. Bend both knees to one side if you prefer, and then to the other. And then slowly start to make your way into a static dog. If you have really tight hamstrings, you can bend your knees slightly, but just draw the top of your chest to your thighs so you get that lovely long spine. Keep your hips reaching up and back. And then gaze between your hands and slowly walk your feet towards your hands. We're just going to hand over our legs here for a moment. You can grab opposite elbows. Just maybe nod your head yes, no. Sway your hips from side to side. And then slowly release your hands. Press down into your heels. You slowly slide your way up to a standing position. Reach your arms up and over your head. Hands in a prayer position. And as you exhale, slowly lower your hands down to your heart centre. Inhale, reach your arms up and over. And as you exhale, you're going to fold over your legs again. Bring the fingertips down to the mat or your shins. And then bring yourself to a halfway position. Slowly place your hands onto the mat. Step your right foot back. Drop your knee. Inhale, chest forward. Plant your hands down and step your left foot to your right foot into a plank position. Option to drop your knees into half plank. Now everyone lower your knees down. Draw your body a couple of inches forward. And then you're going to slowly lower yourself down so your shoulders in line with your elbows. Come onto the tops of your feet and lift up into an upward dog. So your knees and thighs are off the mat. Roll over your feet here and make your way to a downward dog. Just check in on your breath. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Then slowly gaze between your hands. Step your right foot back through. Drop your knee. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, plant your hands down, step your left foot to your right foot, standing forward fold. Press down into your heels as you inhale and slowly roll up to standing, reaching your arms up and over your head, and then hands through prayer as you exhale. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step your right foot back this time. Drop your knee. Inhale, chest forward. Plant your hands down as you step back into your plank or half plank. Make sure your legs are nice and strong. Your heels are drawing back. Again, everyone, drop your knees. Shoot your torso a couple of inches forward. Take an inhale as you exhale. Lower your shoulders down to your elbows. Come onto the tops of your feet. Lift your knees and thighs and make your way to an upward dog. There should be no compression in your lower back or neck here. Gaze is forward. And then slowly roll back into your downward dog. Gaze between your hands, and this time step your left foot through, drop your back knee, inhale, chest forward. Exhale, bring your right foot to your left foot, standing forward fold. Again, press down into your heels and inhale, roll up to standing. Arms up and over your head, hands through prayer. Inhale, arms up and over. Exhale, swan dive down. Now this time, bring your insides of your feet to touch and start to shift the weight into your heels, fingertips either side of your feet. Now we're going to come into Utkatasana, chair pose. So sit back, tuck your tailbone, draw your navel to your spine and raise your arms up to your ears. Reach your hands forward, chest forward, gaze forward, shoulders still drawing down your back. Take an inhale as you exhale, lower your hands down. Inhale, come in halfway up. This time, place your hands down and step your right foot back into a runner's lunge. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, plant your hands down and make your way to plank. So this time you have the option of coming down through chaturanga or again dropping your knees. But first we're going to do a press up. So you can either do a press up in a full plank or a half plank position. So take an inhale here. As you exhale, lower down to a plank, nice strong legs, and then lift up again. And then slowly start to make your way into your upward dog. Inhale up. Exhale, come back into your downward dog. Now gaze between your hands and step your right foot through. Drop your back knee. Now make sure your right knee is stacked above your right heel and your toes are pointing forward, knee tracking over your toes. Slowly start to lift your arms up, making your way to a low lunge. Now bring your hands together, or you can have your hands shoulder width apart. We're going to make our way to crescent lunge. So that left hip is going to be drawing forwards and down. And then start to raise your chest up to the ceiling. Make sure the weight is equally distributed between your front foot and your back leg. And then slowly place your left hand underneath, back onto the mat underneath your left shoulder. And as you inhale, you're going to reach your right arm up. Make sure that right knee doesn't splay out to the side. Now slowly lower your right hand down. You can bring your right foot about an inch to the right. And we're going to either bring our hands to the inside of our right leg, drawing our right knee into our right arm, or come down to our elbows. Again, just check in on your breath. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Still breathing in and out of your nose if you can. And then slowly lift yourself back up. Bring yourself back into a downward dog position. So we're going to come back into our plank, or half plank. Take an inhale, as you exhale, you're going to do a press up here. Nice strong legs again. Bring yourself up, and then slowly make your way into chaturanga, into an upward dog. Then roll over your feet, come back into your downward dog. Gaze between your hands and step your left foot through. Drop your back knee. Again, checking your left knee is stacked above your left heel. Then slowly start to lift your torso off your leg and reach your arms up. Hands either shoulder width apart or your palms coming together. Really lengthen through the body. Right hip is drawing forwards and down. Take an inhale, as you exhale, start to lift that chest up towards the ceiling. Keep your shoulders drawing down your back. And then slowly bring your right hand down onto the mat underneath your right shoulder and open up your left arm. Now bring your left hand down. You're either going to bring your hands onto the inside of your left leg or down to your elbows. Remember, you can walk that left foot an inch to the left if you need to. Make sure that left knee is still over your left heel. And then just hold it here and breathe. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. And then slowly start to make your way back up. Come back into your downward dog. Take a breath here. Then gaze between your hands. Step your right foot back. Right foot in between your hands. Back into a runner's lunge. Inhale. And as you exhale, bring your left foot to your right foot. Now bring the inside of your feet to touch. Sit back. We're going to come for our chair pose. Inhale. And then slowly coming back up. Hands through prayer. Again, chair pose. Inhale, sit back. Shift the weight into your heels. Check you can lift your toes. Shoulders drawing down your back. Exhale, fingertips to the mat of your shins. Inhale, halfway. This time, you're going to step your left foot back. Come into your runner's lunge. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, plank. Lovely. So again, you can come into half plank or full plank. We're going to do a press up. So nice strong legs. Imagine your thighs are reaching up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale as you exhale, do your press up, bring yourself up, and then slowly lowering down through your chaturanga into your upward dog. And then roll over your feet. This time, raise your right leg to the ceiling. Take an inhale as you exhale, you're going to shift your shoulders over your wrists and bring that right knee to the top of your right arm. Really squeeze navel to spine. Inhale, draw the leg all the way back. Exhale, draw the knee to your nose, your chin or your forehead. Again, squeeze. Inhale all the way back. And as you exhale this time, you're going to draw that knee over to the left arm, really twisting the body. Then bring the leg all the way back. Bring the foot down and then step it in between your hands. Drop your back knee. So again, check your right knee is stacked above your right heel. And we're going to make our way back up to our crescent lunge. So remember, your palms can be together, your hands shoulder width apart. Now from here, bring your hands back down and we're going to lift up into a high lunge position. So come onto your left toes. Really press down through your front foot and your left toes. Imagine your thighs are drawing in towards each other and then lift your torso off your thighs. Keep the bend in that front knee. And again, lift your arms. Again, you can bring your hands together if you want to. And then slowly bring your hands behind you. Now just make sure your right thumb is on top. Draw your shoulders down your back. And then you're going to drop that left heel onto the mat. Keep the bend in that right knee. Take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to make your way into humble warrior. Drawing your chest onto the inside of your right leg. Keep that right hip drawing back. Make sure you're pressing onto the outside of that left foot. Keep breathing, relax your neck here, soften your shoulders. And then slowly, bring your hands down, make your way back into that high lunge. And then just bring your arms into goddess arms, really lifting that chest. And then place your hands down onto the mat, step back into your downward dog. Lovely. This time, lift your left leg up towards the ceiling as you inhale. As you exhale, you're going to draw your shoulders over your wrists. Draw your left knee to the top of your left arm. Really squeezing navel to spine, rounding through your shoulders. Inhale, leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, draw the knee to your chin, your nose, or your forehead. Keep squeezing navel to spine. Inhale, leg up. Exhale, twist the body and draw the knee over to the right arm. Really squeeze here. Inhale, leg up to the ceiling. Now drop the foot. Gaze between your hands. Step the foot in between your hands. Drop your right knee. So again, make sure that left knee and heel is stacked. Start to make your way into that crescent lunge. Drawing that right hip forward and down. Arms reaching up. Shoulders drawing down your back. Chest drawing up towards the ceiling. Keep your chin drawing into your chest, so try not to fling your neck back. Then slowly place your hands down onto the mat. Tuck your right toes. Again, you're equally distributing the weight between your front foot and back toes. Imagine the thighs join together and slowly make your way into your high lunge crescent or high crescent lunge. Again, keep breathing. And then slowly bring your hands behind your back, this time making sure your left arm is on top. Draw your shoulders down your back and drop that right heel. Keep the bend in that left knee. Take an inhale. As you exhale, you're drawing that left shoulder onto the inside of that left leg. Again, keep that left hip drawing back as you come into your humble warrior. Make sure you're not clenching your left toes. Press down into the heel. Soften your neck and your shoulders here. Let the arms reach up behind you. Really press down through the right edge of that foot. And then slowly start to make your way back up. Come back up into your high lunge. And this time come into goddess arms. Really opening the chest. And then slowly lower the hands down. Step back into your downward dog. Then gaze between your hands. Step your left foot through into a runner's lunge. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, right foot to left foot. Bring the insides of your feet to touch again. Just hang over your legs here for a moment. Just let the hips reach up nice and high. Soften the shoulders, so soften the neck. Even soften the back of the knees. And then start to shift the weight into your heels as you bend your knees and start to make your way into child's pose. Into chair pose. Now from here, bring your hands into prayer. Take an inhale. As you exhale, sit your hips back and bring your left elbow outside your right knee. Now try to keep your left knee in line with your right knee. It's going to want to shoot forward. So you want to try and keep your hips stacked. Take an inhale. As you exhale, use your elbow against your knee to really twist your body to the right. And then inhale, bring your arms back to center. Exhale, hands into prayer. Inhale, and as you exhale, bring your right elbow outside your left knee and twist your body to the left now. Again, make sure your hips are still in line. Don't let that right knee shoot too far forward. Twist the body to the left. And then slowly bring yourself back up to chair. And come up, all the way up, hands through prayer. Well done, guys. Now, bring your feet apart. You want your heels about hip distance, toes pointing out. Hands into a prayer position. Take an inhale. As you exhale, we're going to come down to Malasana, squat pose. Use your arms, place your arms to the inside of the legs, just drawing your knees out. So now you can stay here really working in this position. If you find it really hard to come into squat, you can always use a wall. Or if you have really sensitive knees, you can just do this on a chair. Okay, and then I just want anybody that's staying in this position to maybe just reach one hand, reach your left hand down, reach your right arm up, and then reach your right arm down, left arm up. Otherwise, I'm going to give you the option today to come into a crow pose. If you are coming into crow, you bring your hands shoulder width apart. You need to really spread your fingers nice and wide so you create a nice wide base with your hands. Then bend your elbows slightly, lift your hips up and place your knees, the inside of your knees onto the upper arms or slightly higher if you can. And then see if you can reach one foot off and then the other. Remember to keep your gaze forward. Okay, so you want to be able to counterbalance this pose. So your body's going to be shifting forward in order for your feet to lift. So if you're coming into crows, try to bring those big toes to touch. Make sure your core's engaged. And then from here, see if you can jump back into your plank. And then from there, just shift back into your downward dog. Gaze between your hands again. And you're going to jump your feet back into your Malasana. Well done, guys. From here, just bring your hands behind you and shoot your legs out in front. Lovely. So pull the flesh from underneath your sit bones. Heels pressing down into the mat. Toes pointing up, knees pointing up. Take an inhale. As you exhale, you're just going to walk your hands either side of your legs. Drawing your chest down towards your legs, shoulders joined down your back. Gaze is still forward. So try not to round your upper back here. If you have really tight hamstrings, just have a slight bend in your knee. Just using your breath to slowly bring you into this pose. And then slowly bring yourself all the way up. This time bring the soles of your feet together. So you can either have your heels all the way towards your groin or slightly further apart. Hands around your toes or your ankles. Use your elbows to draw your thighs closer towards the floor. You can just work in this position, or maybe take an inhale, lengthen your torso, exhale, draw your chest down towards your feet. So just work in a position that feels comfortable to you. Keep your shoulders joined down your back. And then slowly make your way up. Start to make your way down to your mat. As we start to come into our final pose, Shavasana, we're just going to take a few breaths here. So just let your feet splay out, palms face up. Just allow everything to soften. Let the ankles be heavy, but the legs and everything else be light. And just soften your face, your jaw, and that area around your eyes and forehead. Now slowly start to bring your arms up behind you, reaching your hands in one direction, bring your toes together, bring your feet together, reach your toes in the other. And then you can slowly start to bring your knees to your chest, have a gentle rock from side to side, and then just slowly roll over to one side, and then start to make your way to a seated position. Come into any comfortable seated position, keep your eyes closed here, keep your shoulders joined down your back. And let's just take a couple of deep breaths in through our nose and sigh out through our mouth. Then walk your hands either side of your hips, and as you inhale, reach your arms up and over your head. Bring your hands into a prayer position, and as you exhale, draw your hands down to your heart center. Draw your forehead to meet your fingertips to close today's class. Namaste.